With my man Eric Sheethaber. We're going to be talking about tonight's 8-gamer. I had a horrible. Well, I actually didn't even have I really felt good about my lineup. I was in 15th place in the 555, and then next thing I looked, like 2 hours later, I was just way out of the money and everything.
Dude, my man couldn't make it one more inning. Freaking Gobber was cruising.
I think you can't complain about him though, right? Because
not at all.
He ended up having one of the better starts of anybody.
Yeah, I know. He had given up nothing, and then he went to the 6th. Yeah, I think he's the top scorer with 10 fantasy points.
Maybe we should have played those reliever guys as the suspected ones. I would have done better if I played the guy who was supposed to pitch but he didn't for Tampa Bay. At first, I was happy, and then I was like, oh, maybe I'm not so happy about this. He's got 0, which is way better than my pitchers did.
0, yeah. Sometimes 0 works,
Yeah. I guess I had Alcantara with 3, I think he had.
So I have an extremely boring, builds tonight. I mean, like in the early slate, I went full on spicy.
Yeah.
And I'm in full on just. I need either a shot in the arm to get me to do something funny, or I'm just kind of I feel like I'm walking right into just chalk city tonight. That's kind of what I have right now. Right now I have.
Do you want some options? I can give you some options of ways to get off the chalk.
Sure. So let me just tell you what I have, and then you can tell me what I need. All right. So I got Castillo, Verlander, Rodon as the main pitchers, and then I have a whole bunch of Yankees and a whole bunch of Mets, and. I mean, those are my main things. I mean, what else? I have maybe an Arizona or two. San Diego. I have San Diego on FanDuel.
Okay, well, that's something.
Wait, who's this? Hold on a minute.
All right, do your thing.
Hello.
So I'll talk through a couple things that I'm doing. I'm still thinking Atlanta's lower owned than people think. Just the Ozuna, Rosario, Arcia, and Michael Harris.
Oh.
And if I played Atlanta, that would be what I did. I actually think Atlanta is a great stack today, but I am choosing to go elsewhere because of ownership. Unfortunately, maybe that's
that's okay. Hang on a minute. I'll be right there.
So while Sheets does that, I'll just go through a little bit about what I'm doing here. I'm very high on the Reds. I'm very high on San Fran, but San Fran's going to be fairly chalky. I'm high on the Yankees, but I'm using them as a complementary stack more than a regular stack. They're not that owned. They're not as owned as I was expecting. So that sort of got me there. So the full stacks I have are the Giants, Reds, and Mets. The 3-mans are mostly going to be the Yankees for me. I did post my early builds. I don't mind bats from the Cubs, any side of the Detroit game. But I think there's some different things you could do at pitching. So anyway, go ahead, Sheets. So
this it's even more of a sign that I can't get off the chalk, because even when you were about to tell me who I'm supposed to play, I had to take a phone call. So it's like the worst.
No, but maybe that's right. But you're not. I mean, you're not playing Atlanta. It doesn't sound like.
No, I don't have any of that.
Well, that's the chalk.
Oh, good. All right, fine. Then I don't need anything. That's fine.
I think, but at the same time, it's not as chalky as I thought, which is making me kind of want to do it. And there's a very specific way you can play the Atlanta stacks today, and you have to do a couple kind of gross things. One, I'm going to play some Ryan Yarbrough anyway. So why not play Yarbrough and Graham Ashcraft?
Whoa.
To get in the full Atlanta 5-man most expensive stack. Why not?
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
Ashcraft is a ground ball specialist against the team that strikes out the 5th highest most in baseball. While I love the Giants today, I'm totally cool with the idea of just playing some Ashcraft instead. I mean, not instead, I'm sorry, as a pivot, as a hedge. And I think if you play Ashcraft and you look like nobody's going to play Ashcraft and no one's going to play Yarbrough, right? I think we should embrace this. I think we should take some shots here. The way to get Atlanta in, you've got to, look, we have some pitching options tonight. It's not like there's nobody like today, but Maeda, there's certainly a high risk there with him all the time. He's just a streaky guy. Erod hasn't been good since he was really good. Hasn't been nearly as good lately, although he's been, fine enough. Verlander hasn't put up scores that are going to kill you. Neither has Castillo. Neither has Rodon. So why not embrace all the variants and take the Yarbrough and Ashcraft build with Atlanta? Again, what I'm thinking of doing, I'm not sure I'm going to do it, but at the same time, it's fair warning that I am not having a great baseball season. It's been a really rough couple months baseball wise. So maybe that's not the right thing to do, but I think it's kind of interesting. Or Maeda with Yarbrough, as Pingalor's mentioning right now. I do have Maeda and Maeda more as a priority, obviously, than Ashcraft or Yarbrough. But if you want to just go straight down to the bottom, I think it's a very reasonable way to do it. When you said you had the chalk, I thought you were going to say that you had the
Atlanta. No, I don't know that.
So when you didn't say Atlanta, that means, I mean, you have some pitchers that are going to just get way low owned tonight. And then you've got the cheap options that I don't think are that bad. I think Yarbrough there's a route for Yarbrough because he's facing Detroit, and there's a route for Ashcraft because the Giants, if they're keeping the ball on the ground, like who cares how hot it is?
That's true.
So those are my arguments for those guys. And then the other pitchers that you could get some in the mix at low ownership would be, I think Maeda will be too low owned, and I think Darvish and Berrios both have the same ceiling as the other guys, and they're just going to be significantly lower owned. Obviously tougher matchups, but that is a way to get different on what feels like a smaller slate, but a small slate, but compared to this morning, it feels like a huge slate.
It's true. Now this guy, the Encarnacion guy, he's 2,500 for Cincinnati. I'm just looking at some random guys in my. Cincinnati doesn't have their out lineups out yet, right?
Yeah, they do.
Real is the Encarnacion playing?
Yeah. The problem is he takes the same position as the best hitter in baseball, Ellie De La Cruz.
Who? Peraza? Oh, De La Cruz. Okay.
They're both third basemen only.
Oh.
And it's not even that De La Cruz has slowed down quite a bit, but what's nice about him is that this guy will steal a base whenever he gets a chance to. he has the power upside. He hasn't been nearly as good, but he still finds a way to get fantasy points because as long as he's getting on base or just putting the ball in play, he's gonna get you 10 fantasy points almost all the time. I feel like in almost any matchup where he just doesn't. But again, he has those 4 strikeout games. It's not going to do it those days, but this is a day I like him. But I have Encarnacion and De La Cruz as those two, and Austin Riley are my only third baseman.
You're missing the leader of the free world, the Peraza.
He's playing second base for me.
And no Jay Candelario.
No Candelario for me.
Yeah.
Sheets, K9 is asking your top pitcher on FanDuel.
Yes, I will tell you my top pitcher on FanDuel. I have 2 pitchers I'm playing on FanDuel. I'm only playing 4 lineups total. And I have Castillo and Rodon.
Castillo and Rodon.
Rodon's only 7,500 over there.
Yeah, he's really cheap over there. Jenna is saying that the only thing is the full Atlanta stacks with Yarbrough and Ashcraft, so won't the lineups be the same? Nobody's playing that. So right now, the answer is no. If you guys all do it, and even then, you still won't end up with the same lineup sheets. You want to weigh in on that?
Say that one more time.
Jenna's saying if we do full Atlanta stacks with Yarbrough and Ashcraft, won't they all be the same lineups? No, my answer is no, they won't be the same lineups.
No.
Different 5-man stacks. And the 3 players you use complementing those stacks are going to be different all the time.
Boy, I'd love to get behind this.
It's my get wild play. Look, it's not
this Yarbrough Ashcraft business. I could definitely get behind the Yarbrough thing. What's Ashcraft, like 3,000? And what is he?
Yeah, he's 5,800.
5,800.
I mean, for what it's worth, he's been good. Like he's double digits in 3 games in a row, which doesn't sound like much, but hey, he's 5,800. He has a leash. He doesn't give up he sort of mixes in and out of whether his control problems kind of come and go. That's really the one issue you got to worry about with him, but. He has a real leash, and he's probably going to be a good pitcher someday. If that helps. I don't know if that's good, whatever.
That's something.
Yeah. Or a solid enough, anyway. Pingalore is talking about your 4-4 last night with Braves and Musgrove. I didn't know you had I don't know what that one is. Did you have a breaks? I don't know what he's talking about actually.
Let me see what he's asking. I just have the chat thing set up here. Wait, where's my chat? Okay. Sheets, your top pitcher. Sheets, you had that 4-4 last night Giants with Braves and Musgrove. I did actually have one of those. I did have one of those actually. Yesterday, you need like an LOL slate score to win, and you need like 300. You need 300 on FanDuel.
The NBA score to win, yeah.
300 on FanDuel, and like what was it, 250? Was it 250 in DraftKings? I don't know what it was, but it's 300 FanDuel for sure.
It was like 240 something, I think, or 230 something. They've won the lottery. I'm not sure, something around there. Pretty high.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, look, it's not all that inspiring of a slate. I like to try to get different on these slates. My main things I'm doing, my highest owned pitcher is Maeda, Verlander.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to go with it. Just, again, saves me a little bit extra.
And it also gives me I'm guaranteed to have something to sweat at the 11 o'clock thing.
Yeah. Well, maybe not. Maybe he gets rocked around in the first inning. That he says that lineup finished second. The lineup definitely didn't finish second that you mentioned before lock, because you didn't finish second.
Well, I didn't play it. I may have mentioned it
before lock and not play it. Wait, what do you mean? I thought you did take a picture of it or something.
No, I don't know. I don't know.
You were building it or something on air.
Maybe I was just building something on air or something, and I definitely did not come in second in this. I would have. You
would have come in the single entry. Maybe would have come in second.
No, but I'll take credit for. Man, I can't do that.
My biggest buy-in currently has Castillo and Verlander, even though.
You did. You got second in it, Pingalaria.
Oh, beautiful! Nice, Pingalaria. Sorry, that was hard to follow. Nice, man. Way to go.
Listen, I'm not even sure. I'm just trying to read between the lines in the chat here.
Take the credit, Cheats. Take the credit. Take the credit.
I don't care.
I know you don't. There's one person who doesn't care. It's you for sure.
I got. Dude, I was really happy. I was in one of the other discords, and when I was like looking at the tennis stuff earlier today, and someone mentioned that the qualifier still had like it was like a $300 qualifier for like a $3,000 seat, and there was like 4 seats like still available or something.
Mm-hmm.
And someone made a comment. I'm like, all right, fine, you got my $325. I ended up winning the seat. Thank you.
You did. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, so they'll fill that sometime in the next 6 months. That thing, it's like so slow.
Take it. It'll be next year's Wimbledon. That's what it's for. No, I'm just kidding. You said tennis, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I wanted to make sure I was at least talking about the right sport. I'm excited about the golf. I'm still working on my research.
Yeah, I added a couple of dudes to my builds. I'm looking forward to going over it a little bit later. I'm going down with another just like anti-British, anti-links course guy that has no chance to win. Like I think we played some Patrick Reed, I think.
Oh wow. I actually did. For some reason I didn't even notice him.
You didn't even think he played golf anymore, right?
I don't even know what I thought.
I didn't either.
I hope he didn't play golf anymore. I hate that.
Something like that.
You kind of like it's nice. I really I find myself that I end up liking too many golfers. There's not that many guys I don't like because I've played them all, and all of them have like a good spot to me. But Patrick Reed, I just can't get on board.
No,
I thought about Molinari, who Pingalar's mentioning.
Oh yeah,
the form has been just so bad and just hard to make that play when there's just other guys. When you could play like Taylor Moore right in the same price range who just won 2 tournaments recently, I'll do that. All right, guys. Any other questions with regard to baseball? I know it's kind of a quieter day for most people on Wednesdays. A lot of people like the morning slate and don't do as much in the evenings. Seems like.
So I'm playing. Just so everybody knows on FanDuel, I'm playing Yankees and Padres, and then in one lineup to get a little different, I'm playing San Diego and Washington.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens.
I like that.
The Rodon play feels a little fishy to me, but I'm doing it anyway.
I don't think it's fishy. A little bit. I feel like his ownership, at least, and I know it's different on FanDuel because his price, and obviously he's got a leash and all that stuff. But even coming back, I think he still has a leash if he's got it going. It is weird to me that he would be more popular than Verlander, but
he's back. He's coming, but he's his third start. The first one he pitched 5 innings and 70 pitches, and did nothing. Second one was in Colorado. I guess you could throw it away, but I mean, why?
For 88 pitches, that's a positive sign.
I guess.
I mean, he gave up the 3-run homer. Other than that, he was pretty clean.
I suppose. He's so cheap on FanDuel. I think I just kind of had.
Yeah. But I just don't think he should be more popular than Verlander, and I also don't think Verlander is an automatic play here by any means. So that's got me leaded into. That's why I leaned into the variants of Maeda.
I'll tell you, man. I think both those guys are really solid tonight, Verlander and Castillo.
Yeah. How many times? I mean, Castillo has looked like it's funny. This is a guy who like no one would play, and I was playing him and making a ton at the beginning of the season. Maybe this is why I'm losing that sheets. I was playing him, and when no one was playing at the beginning of the season, making a ton with him. Everybody had him, never had him ranked anywhere near the top. Then he starts becoming the top ranked pitcher all the time. He hasn't outscored like he had one game with 20 fantasy. No, that was the game he wasn't popular because he played Houston. Every game he's been popular. He's failed. It's the weirdest.
Meanwhile, Seattle's really going to go for the 3 in a row. The 3 top 3 billion% on pitchers in perfect spot in a row to bust. Let's see if they can do it.
Yeah.
Gilbert 1, Ryu 2, Verlander, Castillo 3. Let's see if they can get it done.
To answer the Tigers question, I don't have any interest in the Tigers tonight. Another thing that I like about the Yarbrough situation is you've got 10-mile-an-hour winds blowing in from center.
Ooh, that's good.
E-Rod also. But I look, there certainly wouldn't be anything wrong with stacking against Yarbrough and playing the Tigers in a vacuum, get their prices. But I think that I'm going to side with the Yarbrough side of this, and the pitching, the starting pitching does pretty well in that game.
Arizona, got some Mets, San Francisco, Washington, San Diego. Yeah, I'm be rooting against the Braves tonight, so we'll see what happens.
Rooting against the Braves, yeah, that's what I'm doing as well. Except for the one lineup where I'm going to have the Yarbrough, and I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it in the 250.
The Yarbrough Ashcraft.
But you know what? Let me see if I can do it with Yarbrough and Maeda, and then I'll do it. Then I'll do a Yarbrough Ashcraft separate.
Yeah, you should probably get to Maeda if you're going to do that. I think.
But yeah, it's true. You know, it seems like a little too much extra to do.
I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe you need to go for that if you're gonna.
Maybe not. Well, let's see. I've got the. All right, I'm gonna do it. Let's see the Yarbrough. Yeah, it's easy enough to do. I think with Yarbrough and Maeda. I actually think Yarbrough is like a reasonable play here. I would actually consider this on a big slate. You can't be excited about his numbers and all these things like that. He did pitch his best game of the season in his last start. There's not a huge leash for him. There's nothing exciting. He's 5,500. It's Detroit. Get through 5 innings, get 15 fantasy points. That's good enough. That's the attitude that I'm playing him with. And Ashcraft actually has that's the one thing about him that's a little different. He actually has a leash. What he does with it is a whole different ball game, but he has a leash for what it's worth. Yeah, there was a time earlier today where I was trying to get really creative, and definitely way too creative, and really considered for a second playing Reed Nelson against Atlanta.
Ooh.
To get really weird. I mean, this guy has put up some good numbers. He's much better on the road for some reason. I don't really understand why, but he is. He's had some really good games recently, and has looked way better than I remember him thinking when I first was watching him pitch. He actually, he has a really tough to pitch in the NL West, but between Colorado, and then you have the Dodgers and Padres and everything. So anytime he's out of division, like I'm looking at his out of division numbers, they're pretty awesome actually. Just for what it's worth, he's put up 5 games out of 8 starts. He's had 16 or more fantasy points against non-division opponents. I'm looking for what I can here. You know what I mean? Sounds like I'm creating something. Maybe I am, but that's what I believe.
It's kind of interesting that these the Angels play at the. I'm still not used to this. The Angels playing at 4:00, but they get into the main slate.
Yeah. They do that weird thing every now and then. At least they let their lineup out today. Sometimes they've done the 4:00 thing, like they forget to release their lineup to like 10 till. Not Otani. I want Olsen. Albies. Let's see the most expensive ones only. Yeah, you can't do the most expensive ones without going double 50-something hundred. So I'm going to do it.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why the hell not? You have a cheap shortstop you like on DraftKings by any chance? I guess Volpe is
Abrams.
Abrams, yeah. Probably the Abrams is the answer, huh? JP Crawford, maybe. But I'm playing. If you're not playing, what's his name?
What shortstop you're talking about? Yeah. I just have Abrams and Lindor. Well, Volpe. Is Volpe considered cheap?
Yeah, I mean, it's cheap. That's for a shortstop. I would say that I would call that cheap.
I'll tell you this, like kind of like low key snuck into the lineup at a pretty reduced price is Salvador Perez at 4,100.
That's interesting. Didn't pick up on that one. I did. I saw that he was in the lineup. I didn't see that. That's definitely interesting. Yeah, Volpe and Abrams similar price. Abrams will steal if he's on. Volpe probably won't.
You don't think?
Not like Abrams will. Abrams.
Right.
All right, so there we go. 5 minutes.
What is he's got? He's got like 10 or 12 or 15, maybe 15 Volpe, right? We need more than that. He's got a lot.
Jake McCarthy's leading off today. What? Wasn't ready for that.
Oh no, he doesn't. I'm looking at strikeouts. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I was just looking at the prices of some of these guys, and that's definitely interesting. But he's probably getting pinch hit for. I think I'd rather play Kepler than him. Yes, so there you go. A 5-1-1-1 with Yarbrough, Ashcraft as my pitchers. That's happening. It was in the works and it's done. And I would guarantee that almost nobody has the same lineup, whether or not they did the exact same thing or not. I just don't see it. Oh, look, there's CJ. There's a question. Any CJ Abrams love? It's fine. Like there's no power upside. It's just you hope he steals some bases.
Well, he's hitting down. We'll get like 5-6 at bats, maybe too. I mean, get a couple of.
Then you must really like the Washington stack.
No, I mean
he gets 6.
He looks. I mean, I have him like 15% of my lineups. The Washingtons, I think.
That's nice. That's a good one.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, the win. That's what happens in Wrigley though. Like early in the day, it had me completely off the game because it was blowing in. But now it's only 8 miles an hour, but it's blowing side to side. So you really don't have to worry about anything, and you can go ahead and play both sides of that. I think that the Cubs are pretty interesting, but I just didn't get to them as much.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
Yeah,
it's not usually my style. He would slump at 17 runs, but
6-3.
You know what? But if you don't play a team off 17 runs, there's nobody to play today.
Yeah,
because everybody scored 17 yesterday.
I know. It's going to be one of those days. Is every game going to be a shutout? Is the question.
Exactly.
We're going to get the Sheets' logic that there's no way.
Well, you know what? You got pitchers that can deliver them.
Yeah. There's definitely options. But meanwhile, there's options coming from a guy's mouth who just decided to play Ashcraft and Yarbrough.
That's right.
Look at all these options. How could I not play them? No, I'm just kidding. All right, I'm going to finish my builds and get out of here if we don't have much more.
Sounds good.
I
will see you guys at 11 o'clock Eastern.
Okay. Good luck, man. Have a good day, everybody. We'll see you guys soon.
Right, later.